I'll do a recap if that's okay.
So, are we good to go?
Yep, great. Good evening. Sorry for the technical difficulties to those joining us online. We convened the meeting of the Facilities Committee at 6:34 with 4 individuals present: Mr. Crispin, Mrs. Hageman, Mrs. Sebastian, Mrs. Reese. We had no additions to the agenda or communications, meetings, or announcements. Mr. Crispin just went through the notes from the core meeting held July 10th. And we're going to Ms. Sebastian for additional comments.
So today in today's core meeting, I asked, we were very fortunate. They planted the grass seed in June and we got all those rains and it came up, which is somewhat miraculous for summer. But many of you will know there's a bunch of weeds in the front lawn. That is actually going to be a field. And I asked today what our plans were for that. And they're hoping to do some kind of grasses or some kind of planted substance. And they'll be doing that hopefully before we open the building. So it looks a little bit nicer than weeds. So
something that doesn't need to be manicured.
But yeah, the reason we did that was to reduce our fuel expense in mowing, and maintenance had asked us, they're like, do we really have to mow all of that? And I was like, well, what's your suggestion? They're like, make it a field. And I was like, okay. So
the township is joining a group called Bee City, in part because we're the Bethel Bees, and it's a organization that promotes bee-friendly plants and environment, use pesticides, find natural ways. We have a guy in the township who's been helping with that. If you want to talk to him, he might be able to help you get some like wildflowers and what to plant, native kind of things. I'll get you his name and number afterwards. Don't have to, but I'm just saying we're joining this thing. And
we kind of joked about it. It was like, gosh, it's gonna be cool to set up some bee boxes out there, except for those kids like our athletic director are seriously allergic to these things. But
well, this would be bee friendly, not necessarily have the boxes, it's just plants.
There's a lot of area here.
Plants, yes, it is.
but yeah, it looks, and I just like to say thank you to all the people who moved everything last week. I mean, things are moved into the K2 building, the teachers, the stuff the teachers boxed up, and it's a really cool thing to get to see.
Yeah, so yeah, we did move, took a little bit longer than we thought, and the steps took their toll, and the kids quickly figured out that being on the loading side versus the unloading, unloading is where you wanted to be. Yeah, so yeah, after day one, it was a lot of bartering. People got to be aware, but they did a great job. You know, I think some folks were worried about, you know, scuffs and dings, and we only had a couple instances of that. They did a very nice job with difficult moves. So so updates for BES, and I'm going to start calling it BES since that's the home of our elementary. We did get temporary occupancy by the skin of our teeth, and but we've got a lot of work to do, and so final inspection is going to be next week, and fingers crossed. But again, lots of stuff to do to make sure we're compliant with fire marshal. Looking to coordinate an early move pending the outcome of that inspection. Currently, we were thinking August 7th, week of August 7th for that move. And so, yeah, things go well, we might be able to get stuff in sooner, which would be nice. We'd like to have at least the administrative offices set up. So August 1, when the secretaries coming in and the principals, we are ready to welcome students, hopefully we have internet service at that point. And start registering kids and doing business school. Additionally, gym bleachers will be delivered September 18th. It's a hard date. It'll be about a week of installation. AV equipment has arrived and ready to be distributed. I think they're going to coordinate with Jason with that. And then we're going to go ahead and go back to that alternate curtains and for the stage. A little bit of some of the money that's left over. So excited for that piece. That'll really, there's a lot of great aspects about that building, but the cafeteria is really, really impressive. So that will be the icing on the cake. Out the stadium, we're supposed to get track lights. It's cured, it's ready. We just need some dry weather so we can get the striper in and put the lines down, all markings. Still is off limits until we open in August. Scoreboard was delivered today, and still coordinating the installation and electrical work out there. So we know that August 12th, we'd really like to have our first soccer game out there, but we'll see. Culverts were installed. I think today they got them in and leveled out, so we can continue that road work, and we can start talking about pouring the footers for field house. And we need to get that road so we can get the cement trucks back there. Portable restrooms already been delivered. There will be more delivered, and that's in lieu of, right now we don't have a field house. So we use portable restrooms for our contests and practices. And we're talking about a shed. I think Booster's talking about a shed for the concession stand. I meet with them tomorrow. And we're debating about whether or not we're going to have a shed for the football team or not, just use our current locker room or for games. We're still fleshing that piece out. As far as the restroom renovation, the commodes and partitions have been removed. Those look different, and flooring goes in next week. Still don't have a hard date on delivery of the partitions, but we have a backup plan for restroom use for our students in the event worst case scenario is not ready on the 25th. So those are some of the highlights along with Peterson's report. Questions, comments, hearing of the public? Hi again.
Well, probably the biggest thing is I've had a couple questions about the field house. The field house, there's just not the money raised to build the field house right now. And Boosters did not take out a loan, which I think for the long term is probably a good thing. It puts the onus on us to get the money raised before we build it. And so that shed is going to be the temporary concession stand, hopefully, if all works out. And then that will become storage later once we're able to build something more substantial, more permanent. Is that a better word? More permanent?
Yes.
So, I mean, I think it's the best solution, and quite frankly, there just wasn't time to get it all done. So I think it puts us in a good position for the long term. We tried to make choices that will get us through, but then put us in good position for 2 to 3 years from now.
We going to have a dedication for the building, community dedication, grand opening Saturday, August 19th at 10:30 a.m. and be a historic day. As many people can come out and join us with that and come to the building.
So the hog roast will be at the existing stadium.
Don't know anything about hog roast. Hopefully I'm gonna find out more tomorrow. Yeah. Heard rumors, but just want speculation. Other than that, August 21st will be our next meeting for facilities committee. And future meetings would probably that would be a good meeting to discuss what's next for this group. We need to do quarterly meetings, and how do we wrap up this project? What would be probably what was good, what was not so good about this, and then looking to the horizon. What's our next focus for facilities? So
I just have one question. I don't like too fast questions, but so you said there's a backup plan for the restrooms. Is that also porta potties? Like out back or something?
maybe.
Okay.
I don't like it. But
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
And then my other question is, what's gonna happen with the modulars that we have?
So modulars, that was a 36-month lease, I think, and that lease is up at the end of August. And so we've already cut water and all the utilities to it. They know they're ready for them to come and get them. And so, we have to pay for August, no matter what, whether they're on our site or not.
I thought we got those for 4 years.
36 months is. I thought it was a month, so I wasn't sure, but I got to.
I thought we
They
did
sent us
4
a copy of
years
the
because we didn't know if
contract.
we were gonna make the opening. And it wasn't much more. And we didn't go with that in the end.
Yeah, it was done for that.
I would push them to get those out here before school starts.
They thought maybe at the end of this month. So,
You may have to push them a little bit, because if I remember, they delivered an extra one back 3 years ago. It took some for them to.
really,
Yeah, they delivered a whole extra one. It's
Duly noted.
not for a month or two. It's just, you just need to keep reminding them if they don't.
And we
show
don't
up.
pay if they don't show up.
no, we're done paying at the end of August. It's our last payment. Yep.
What are you gonna do with that excess?
Oh, yeah. We got plenty that's needed, so, yeah.
Serious. Okay, anything else? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay. I will call the roll. Mrs. Reese?
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian?
Yes.
Mrs. Hageman?
Yes.
Mr. Christmas. Yes. Meeting is adjourned, 6:51. Thank you very much.
Really, really.